Hey guys, today I'm going to do an introduction to using sum and difference identities to evaluate expressions, and these are part of the trigonometric identities. And these are pretty complicated if you look at all these formulas here. They take a long time to remember, but I have a little jingle, I guess you could call it, to help you remember these. And so we're going to start with sine of A plus or minus B. This works for both of them, and it's sine, cosine, cosine, sine. That's the order. Sine, cosine, cosine, sine. And whatever sign you're using here is the one in the middle. So minus, minus, plus, plus. So sine, cosine, cosine, sine. And then we go straight into the cosine jingle, which is cosine, cosine, sine, sine. And now notice that it's the opposite sign. So if we had plus here, we've got a minus here. If we had minus here, we've got a plus in the middle. So, and then notice it's cosine, and then notice all the ABs are just in the order that you would expect. AB, 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 and that continues with cosines. Okay, so we've got sine, cosine, cosine, sine, cosine, cosine, sine, sine. And that's just a really quick way to remember them, and it will help you infinitely if you have to memorize them on a test. And then now we get to the tangents, and tangent you can think of tan plus tan, 1 minus tan tan. Tan plus tan, 1 minus tan tan. And then that's for addition, and then for subtraction, just think you're swapping the sides. So instead of doing tan plus tan, you're doing tan minus tan, 1 plus tan tan. So tan minus tan, 1 plus tan tan. Or tan plus tan, 1 minus tan tan. Either one works. So now let's think about all of them. We've got sine equals sine, cosine, cosine, sine, cosine, cosine, sine, sine. And that's our sine and cosines together. Just know that sine comes before the cosine formula. Then tan plus tan, 1 minus tan tan. Memorizing those will help you a lot. So now I've got some examples over here. We're going to start with sine 105. I'm just going to do them down here so I have more real estate. So we've got sine of 105. And now first thing to do here is we know we're going to have sine of A plus B or sine of A minus B. Alright, and let's think about what we could do. Think about our unit circle. What could add up to 105? Well, we know that we have 60 and we have 45, so I think those are some angles that we can use. So sine A plus B, it's going to be sine 60 plus 45 equals, well, now we can use our jingle. We've got sine, cosine, cosine, sine, and we know that the middle is going to be the same sign. So it's sine, and it's A, cosine of B, plus sine, cosine, cosine now, cosine of A times sine of B. And now I just have to figure those out. We should have these memorized from our unit circle. Sine 60, that's root 3 over 2. Cosine of 45 is root 2 over 2. Plus cosine of 60 is 1/2. Sine of 45 is root 2 over 2. Now I just have to multiply these together. That's going to equal root 6 over 4 plus, well, it's going to be root 2 over 4. So our final answer is going to be root 6 plus root 2, all over 4. And that equals sine of 105. So we just have to plug it into our formulas, and then we just simplify. It's not too bad once we have the formulas memorized. And so our next example was cosine 75. Alright. Cosine of 75. What can add or subtract to this? Thinking about my unit circle again, I know that we've got 45 and 30. And that's looking pretty good. Okay, so we're going to have cosine 45 plus 30. Equals, and now let's think about the cosine jingle. It's cosine, cosine, sine, sine. And remember the difference is that cosine, you use the opposite sign in the middle. So it's going to be cosine of 45 times cosine of 30. Then it's plus in the parentheses, so it's minus out here. Minus sine, sine. Alright, so cosine of 45, root 2 over 2, times cosine of 30, which is root 3 over 2. minus sine of 45, which is root 2 over 2, multiplied by sine of 30, which is just 1/2. It's going to equal, we're going to get root 6 again, root 6 over 4, minus root 2 over 4. So this one is going to equal square root of 6 minus square root of 2 all over the 4. And that is cosine of 75. So now we've just got our last one left. It is tangent of 15. So right when I get this problem, I think, well, it's definitely not going to be addition because the smallest on the unit circle is the 30. So we're going to have to do, well, we can subtract 15. How about 45 minus 30? That looks good to me. So tangent of 45 minus 30. Remember, our tangent formula is tan plus tan, 1 minus tan tan. But that's for addition. For subtraction, it is 1 minus tan. No, that's at the bottom. 1. It's tan A minus tan B all over 1 plus tangent of A times tangent of B. I actually like to think of this one as the top. You kind of do exactly what you would expect because it's minus here, then it's minus on the top, and you're literally just subtracting them. Then I just think the opposites. The bottom is you just do the opposite. So if you're subtracting in the middle and subtracting here, you're gonna add on the bottom. That's just what I do. But you can also do the jingle tan tan 1 minus tan tan for addition, and just flip it for subtraction. So now let's think we've got tangent of 45. That's gonna be 1. So we've got 1 minus tangent of 30. I like to think of it as sine over cosine. So sine 30 over our cosine of 30. Our sine of 30 equals 1/2 divided by cosine of 30, which is root 3 over 2. Over 2 if I can draw. So then I can multiply by 2 over root 3. Cancel. I'll get 1 over root 3. So cross, cross. So 1 minus 1 over square root of 3 divided by 1 plus tangent 45 we already said was 1. Tangent of, I said B, tangent of 30, we said is 1 over root 3. So 1 times 1 over root 3 is just 1 over root 3. So it's going to be 1 minus square root of 3, 1 minus 1 over square root of 3 divided by 1 plus 1 over the square root of 3. And that is the tangent of 15. I hope this was able to help. I hope you have memorized the jingles. Here, let me show you the formulas again. Yeah, the jingles helped me a lot when I was going through high school, so hope they can do the same for you. Let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.